Hello, welcome to today's video. We are in Unit 7 of our book, Play Piano Now, Book 1. And this is talking about a new time signature, which is the 3/4 time signature. 3 beats in every measure. The quarter note gets 1 beat. It says here you should review page 27 for the time signature of 4/4, if need be. This is a rhythm exercise away from the keyboard. Let's go ahead and clap and count the rhythm there on page 72. At the top, this is in 3/4 time, so remember, only 3 beats per measure as opposed to 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And of course, you could repeat that if you want. So only copying and counting up to 3 in 3/4 time measures. Let's take a look at Rockets. Rockets is in also 3/4 time, and let's clap and count the rhythm here for both hands on our lap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Release. So as you can see, the notes, the melody starts in the left hand. It is in C position. It goes up into the right hand while the left hand plays some chords as harmony. Make sure that your melody is always louder than your harmony. Okay, so the articulation here is non legato. So let's make sure that we have our spaces of silence in between each of these notes. Here we go. Let's count to 3. And then we are going to begin. Starting at forte, and then the second system is at piano. So make sure that you have that contrast in the dynamics. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. C, E, G, C, E, G, F, E, D, C, 2, rest. C, E. 2, 3, release. Okay, go on to page 73. C divers is similar to the Rockets, except the arpeggio melodic structure is going downward as opposed to upward. Let's go ahead and play through this. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. G, E, C, G, F, E, F, E, D, C, 2, rest. One thing to always keep in mind about the harmony or the chords is a pianist always prepares when you have nothing to do with one hand. Go ahead and prepare the hand position or the shape of a chord or of the melody with that hand before playing it and have it ready beforehand. Okay. At the bottom of page 73, we're talking about the slur, which is a curved line over or under notes. And these notes can be on different lines or spaces. They do also occur on the same lines and spaces, but we will not be talking about that here. Okay, so a slur means to play legato, which we know is smooth and connected. Referencing to the 5-finger exercise number 1, legato. And of course that's different from the non-legato or the staccato. A slur often divides the music into phrases. A phrase is a musical thought or sentence. Think about the following sentence. I am going to the store. I am going, phrase, to the store, another phrase. Both come together to create a complete sentence. Just like with our English language, music is like a language as well, which can be used to communicate. And they also have rules when we put music together. Let's go ahead and practice this sight reading here at the bottom of page 73. Please remember to play everything smooth and connected. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, release, making sure there are no spaces of silence in between the notes. Now on to number 2, at mezzo forte, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, release. Okay, let's turn the page now to page 74. This is music, or this is either exercises away from the keyboard. Please complete this page. Page 75, day is done. It says here that we should write a slur over the notes in the second system. If it has already been provided for you, no need to do it. Let's go ahead and play day is done. Both are phrases and to be played legato. This here is our first example of playing legato for the right hand and non-legato for the left. So what that means is there will be a moment when you are playing a note in the right hand. After you let go of the left hand, you will still hear the right hand note sounding because you haven't let it go, and then you come down together for the next beat or the next measure. And the reason for that is you're not supposed to remove or lift your finger for the legato articulation, but for the non-legato, you are. So we're playing 2 different articulations at the same time. Here is day is done. 1, 2, 3. So you might have noticed for a moment on measures 3 and on measure 7 also, when I play F in the right hand and G7 in the left, I legato down to D. I'm going to let go of the left hand. I can still hear D because I'm still holding on to it, and then I come down together for C major and C. So that is playing 2 different articulations at the same time. Slurs and ties. We need to know the difference between a slur and a tie. A tie is when we hold 2 notes together for the combined value. We play both of them. For example, that one at the top there, 2 G's tied together as noted half notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, release. And we do not let go because it is tied together. As for the slur, we connect 2 notes legato, we play them together. Notice how I played them both legato. Please identify what is a tie and what is legato. Now we are in down in the valley. This one here has legatos. It also has some spaces in between, or lifts. A lift is when you lift your finger off of the key and add a space of silence after a beat and before the next beat. So consider on measure number 3, we have that C and C major in the left hand. The slur ends and the tie ends, and another slur begins on measure number 4. So there's going to be a lift there. We do not add a rest, we simply add a lift or a breath as when we're breathing in between phrases so that we can distinguish between the 2. We do not connect phrases together. We want to make sure that we hear a distinct space of silence in between. Let's go ahead and play Down in the River. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Lift. 1, 2, 3. Lift. 1, 2, 3. Lift. So you heard the lifts in between those phrases. Let's now go on to what can I share on page 77. This one here has melody in the left hand first, accompaniment in the left. So we have once again 2 different articulations going on. Be able to hold the legato here or here while the harmony chords are being played non-legato. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, the left hand, or wherever the melody was, that was the louder part of the music. Always play melody louder than your accompaniment. And the chords I played softly. You even can see that there are two different dynamic markings. One for the melody, mezzo forte, and the piano is for the chords. So always play them softer than the melody, wherever they are. And then, of course, with the melody being legato, the harmony being non-legato, we want to hear those spaces of silence in between. And remember not to play them staccato. That's too short. They need to be just long enough, but still with spaces of silence. On page 78, we have a little bit about the C major chord and an F major chord. F major chord is C, F, and A. We're playing them either as blocked chords or as arpeggios. So go ahead and work on that. Number 79, we're once again working on those F, C, and G7 chords. Please be prepared to practice that. And now we're applying it there on the bottom of page 79. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice that the melody was mostly in the right hand, or was in the right hand, and it was legato. Always playing legato for those sections, and only where it is legato. Everything else should have a space of silence in between. Page 80, once again, a little bit more. I've identified the chords C, F, and G7. Let's go ahead and play 81. 81 is the first example of When the Saints Go Marching In. This one includes an incomplete measure. An incomplete measure can also be considered a pickup bar, or in classical music, it is called anacrusis. So this one here is an incomplete measure. It only has 3 beats, and the missing beat of the 4/4 time is actually found at the very end. So when you start clapping, you're going to say 2, 3, 4, 1, and then you're going to start on the whole note there. Okay? So the 1 at the end is just, of course, 1 beat. So let's go ahead and play through When the Saints Go Marching In. Actually, let's go ahead and clap through this just so we can understand a little bit about the incomplete measure. And when we begin, we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. We actually start clapping on 2, 3, 4, not on 1, because once again, 1 is way down here at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, rest, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then release. We release after 1 because there's only 1 beat at that little measure there at the end. Okay, now that we know the clapping and the counting, let's go ahead and place our hands in position. Remember that the melody is louder, and there is no legato here. It's all non-legato, but there are some ties. So please remember to tie those notes together that belong. Mostly it's going to be a whole note to a quarter note, but there is another example of a dotted half note with a half note there at measures 11 and 12. So here we go. Let's hear those spaces of silence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Rest. You may hear that it sounds a little choppy, but that's perfectly fine. Remember, we're still practicing and learning how to play these articulations. On pages 82 and 83, we are working on the C major, G7, C major, F major, now for the right hand, which is in that second inversion there. And we're practicing playing chords now with the right hand. Melody in the left for number 2 on page 83. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure the melody's louder and all connected, legato. Oh, decrescendo here. Alrighty then. And now we're going to move on, please, to the next page in our next video. Thank you.